Junction, River City, next station stop.
You're crazy with the heat. Credit is no good for notion, salesman.
Board, all aboard.
Why now? What's the matter with credit?
It's old-fashioned. Charlie, you're an Annabelle salesman. Your firm give credit?
No, sir.
No, anybody else.
River City next.
Cash for the merchandise. Cash for the button hooks.
Cash for the cotton goods. Cash for the hard goods.
Cash for the soft goods. Cash for the fancy goods.
Cash for the noggins and the piggins and the furnace. Cash for the hogshead, cask and demijohn. Cash for the crackers and the pickles and the fly paper.
Look, what do you talk? What do you talk? What do you talk? What do you talk? What do you talk?
Where'd you get it?
What do you talk?
You can talk, you can talk, you can bicker, you can talk, you can bicker, you can talk, you can talk, you can talk, bicker, you can talk all you want, but it's different than it was.
No, it ain't, but you gotta know the territory. Shh.
Why, it's a Model T Ford, made the trouble, made the people wanna go, wanna get up and go. 7, 8, 9, 10, 12, 14, 22, 23 miles to the county seat.
Yes, sir, yes, sir.
Who's gonna patronize a little bitty 2x4 kind of store anymore?
What do you talk? What do you talk? Where'd you get it? Not the Model T at all. Take a gander at the store, at the modern store, at the present day store, at the present day modern departmentalized grocery store. What do you talk? 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 Where'd you get it? What do you talk? What do you talk? What do you talk? Where'd you get it?
You can talk, you can bicker, you can talk, you can bicker, you can talk, bicker, you can talk all you want, but it's different than it was.
No, it ain't, but you gotta know the territory.
Why, it's the you need a biscuit made the trouble. You need it. Put the crackers in a package, The you need a biscuit in an airtight sanitary package made the Cracker Barrel obsolete.
Obsolete. Cracker Barrel went out the window with the mail pouch cut plug shone by the stove. Changed the approach of a traveling salesman. Made it pretty hard. No, it didn't, but you gotta know the territory.
Gone with the hogshead, cask and demijohn. Gone with the sugar barrel, pickle barrel, milk pan. Gone with the tub and the pail and the tears.
Ever met a fella by the name of Hill? Hill.
No! Just a minute. Never heard of any salesman. Hill.
Now he doesn't know the territory.
Doesn't know the territory?
What's the fella's line?
Never worries about his line.
Never worries about his line.
Or the Cracker Barrel beating up the wheat. Or you need a biscuit in an airtight sanitary package. Or the Model T Ford.
Just a minute.
Never worries about his line.
Never worries about his line?
Or a doggone thing. He's just a bang beat bell rigging beat Paul Craig go neck or nothing rip roaring every time a bullseye salesman. That's Professor Harold Hill.
Tell us, what's his line?
He's a fake, and he doesn't know the territory. Look, what do you talk?
He's a music man.
He's a what?
He's a music man, and he sells clarinets to the kids in the town with the big trombones and the rat-a-tat drum and the big brass bass, and the piccolo, uniforms too, with a shiny gold braid on the coat and a big red stripe run.
Well, I don't know much about bands, but I do know you can't make a living selling big trombones. No, sir. Mandolin picks perhaps, and here and there Jew's heart.
No, the fella sells bands, boys' bands. I don't know how he does it, but he lives like a king, and he dallies and he gathers, and he puffs and he shines, and when the man dances, certainly, boys, what else? The piper pays him. Yes, sir. When the man dances, certainly, boys, what else? The piper pays him.
Yes, sir.
But he doesn't know the territory!
Line into Iowa. River City, population 2,212. Cigarettes illegal in this state. Board!
All right, if you're all finished, I'll tell you about Harold Hill.
You really know Harold Hill?
Never seen him in my life, but I know this much. He's given every one of us a black eye. After he's worked the town over, the next salesman to arrive gets automatically tarred and feathered and thrown out of the city on a rail. Do you think that's funny? Wait till it happens to you. Your hair never grows back.
But why'd she get rode out of town on a rail?
Because in order to sell band instruments and uniforms and instruction books, he has to guarantee to teach the kids to play.
Well,
and to form them into a boys' band, with himself as the leader.
What's wrong with that?
He doesn't know one note from another. That's what's wrong with that. And he can't tell a bass drum from a pipe organ. When I catch that swindling 2-bit thimble rigger, I'll squeal on him so loud.
Oh, Charlie, you're mad. I'd sure love to see it when you catch up with him.
Oh, it won't be on this trip. Not in Iowa. Not even the great Professor Harold Hill will try to sell to them neck-bowed Hawkeyes out here.
Gentlemen, intrigued. I think I'll have to give Iowa a try.
I don't believe I caught your name.
I don't believe I dropped it. Yes, I'm interested in a rig for Sunday, if you would accommodate me.
Then I expect you not to see the man in charge of hiring rigs. Who was late, as usual.
Hey, Greg!
Marcellus!
Why, Greg, you old son of a gun. But Greg!
Professor Hill's the name. Harold Hill.
But Greg, what are you doing here? Why didn't you let me know you was coming?
Well, I didn't know I was coming myself. Besides, how would I know you'd end up in a little tank town like this? You were a pretty big slicker when you were in business with me.
Oh, too many close shaves the way you work. Besides, I've got me a nice, comfortable girl named Ethel Toffelmeyer, boss's niece.
Gone legitimate, huh? I knew you'd come to no good.
Oh, so what's the new pitch? You're not back in the band business, are you?
Mm-hmm.
I heard you was in steam automobiles.
Well, I was.
Well, what happened?
Somebody actually invented one.
No!
Now give me the lowdown here, Mars.
Oh, you'll never get anywhere in the band business with these stubborn Iowans, Greg. Besides, they've got this stuck-up music teacher who will expose you before you even get your grip unpacked.
Male or female?
The music teacher? She's a librarian. Female.
Perfect. That's what I wanted to hear. Now, if she passes by, point her out to me.
I will. How you gonna start the pitch?
Same old way. Keep that music teacher off balance. Then my next step will be to get your town out of the serious trouble it's in.
Well, River City isn't in any trouble.
Then I'll have to create some. I have to create a desperate need for a boys' band. Now, what's new around here? What can I use?
Nothing. Well, except the billiard parlor's just put in a new pool table.
They never had a pool table here before?
No, only billiards.
Well, that'll do. See you later, Mars. And remember, music teacher.
Right, music teacher.
Ah, Mr. Dunlop.
Yep.
Well, either you're closing your eyes to a situation you do not wish to acknowledge, or you are unaware of the caliber of disaster indicated by the presence of a pool table in your community. Well, you got trouble, my friend. Right here, I say trouble right here in River City. Why, sure, I'm a billiard player, certainly mighty proud to say, I'm always mighty proud to say. I consider that the hours I spend with a cue in my hand are golden. Help you to cultivate horse sense and a cool head and a keen eye. Did you ever take and try and give an ironclad leave to yourself from a 3-rail billiard shot? But just as I say, it takes judgment, brains, and maturity to score in a ballkline game. I say that any boob can take and shove a ball in a pocket. And I call that sloth, the first big step on the road to the depths of degradation. I say first, medicinal wine from a teaspoon, then beer from a bottle. And the next thing you know, your son is playing for money in a pinchback suit. And listen to some big out-of-town Jasper here to tell about horse race gambling. Not a wholesome trot race, no, but a race where they set down right on the horse. Like to see some stuck-up jockey boy setting on Dan Patch, make a blood boil, well, I should say. Now, friends, let me tell you what I mean. You got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 pockets in a table. Pockets that mark the difference between a gentleman and a bum with a capital B that rhymes with P and that stands for pool. And all week long in River City you could be frittering away, said your young men will be burning. Frittering away their noontime, supper time, shore time too. Get the ball in the pocket, never mind getting dandelions pulled to the screen door patch of the beefsteak pounded. Never mind pumping any water to your parents or cock with a cistern empty on a Saturday night, and that's trouble. Yes, you got lots and lots of trouble. I'm thinking of the kids in a knickerbocker shirt tell young ones, peeking in the pool hall window after school. You got trouble, folks, right here in River City. Trouble with a capital T and that rhymes with P and that stands for pool. Now I know all you folks are the right kind of parents. I'm gonna be perfectly frank. Would you like to know what kind of conversation goes on while they're loafing around that hall? They'll be trying out beagles, trying out Cubits, trying out tailor-mades like cigarette beans, and bragging all about how they're gonna cover up a telltale breathless sense. And one fine night, they leave the pool hall, heading for the dance of the armory, libertine men in scarlet women, and ragtime, shameless music that'll grab your son, your daughter, in the arms of a jungle animal instinct, mass hysteria. Friends, the idle brain is the devil's playground. Trouble, oh, we got trouble right here in River City. Right here in River City. With a capital T and that rhymes with P and that stands for pool. That stands for pool. We surely got trouble. We surely got trouble right here in River City. Right here. Gotta figure out a way to keep the young ones moral after school. Our children's gonna have trouble. Mothers of River City, heed that warning before it's too late. Watch for the telltale signs of corruption. The minute your boy leaves the house, does he rebuckle his knickerbockers below the knee? Is there a nicotine stain on his index finger? A dime novel hidden in the corn crib? Is he starting to memorize jokes from Captain Billy's whiz bang? Are certain words creeping into his conversation? Words like swell, aha, and so's your old man. What if so, my friends? You got trouble. Oh, we got trouble. Right here in River City. Right here in River City. With a capital T and that rhymes with P and that stands for pool. That stands for pool. We surely got trouble. We surely got trouble. Right here in River City. Right here. Remember the Maine, Plymouth Rock, and the Golden Rule. Our children's gonna have trouble. Oh, we got trouble. We're in terrible, terrible trouble. That game with the 15 numbered balls of the Devil's Tour. Oh, yes, we got trouble, trouble, trouble. We got trouble here. With a T. Rhyming with P. That stands for pool. going?
No.
Well, I'll only be in town a short while, and so I just want...
You, daughter?
Yes, Mama. Keep on, Amaryllis. I'll be there in a minute. Fine, dear. Now your exercises. Yes, ma'am.
I don't remember the library being open last 4th of July.
It was, Mama, all evening. Mama, a man with a suitcase has been following me all over town.
Oh, who?
I never saw him before.
Did he say anything?
He tried.
Did you say anything?
Mama, of course not. Now don't dawdle, Amaryllis. So, do, la, re, ti, mi, a little slower, and please keep the fingers curved as nice and high as you possibly can. Don't get faster, dear.
If you don't mind my saying so, it wouldn't have hurt you to find out what the gentleman wanted.
I know what the gentleman wanted.
What, dear?
You'll find it in Balzac.
Well, excuse me for living, but I've never read it.
Neither has anyone else in this town.
There you go again with that same old comment about the low mentality of River City people and taking it all too much to heart.
Now, Mama, as long as the Madison Public Library was entrusted to me for the purpose of improving River City's cultural level, I can't help my concern that the ladies of River City keep ignoring all my counsel and advice.
But, darling, when a woman's got a husband and you've got none, why should she take advice from you? Even if you can quote Balzac and Shakespeare and all the other highfalutin Greeks.
Mama, if you don't mind my saying so, you have a bad habit of changing every subject.
No, I haven't changed the subject. I was talking about that stranger.
What stranger?
With the suitcase who may be your very last chance.
Mama, do you think I'd allow a common matter? Now, really, Mama, I have my standards where men are concerned, and I have no intention.
I know all about your standards. You don't mind my saying so. There's not a man alive who could hope to measure up to that blend of Paul Bunyan, St. Pat, and Noah Webster, concocted for yourself from your Irish imagination, your Iowa stubbornness, and your library full of books.
Well, if that isn't the best I ever heard.
Thank you. Can I have a drink, please?
May I have
May I have a drink, please?
Yes, dear.
Winthrop, it's after dark. Is that a way to walk into the house?
Hello.
That won't do at all. I'll have a hug from my boy. That lady over there is your sister, young man.
Hello, Winthrop.
Winthrop, where's your manners?
I'm having a party on Saturday. Will you please come? I would especially like it if you would come. Winthrop?
Well, Winthrop, Amaryllis asked you to her party. Are you going or aren't you?
No.
No what?
No, thank you.
You know the little girl's name.
You won't say Amaryllis because of the S, because of his lisp. He's ashamed.
Yes, we know all about his lisp, Amaryllis. Well, Winthrop?
I bet he won't say it.
No, thank you, Amaryllis.
Amaryllis! Amaryllis! Why does he get so mad at people just because he lisps?
It's not only because he lisps, Amaryllis. That's just part of it.
What's the other part?
Never mind, dear. It's just that he never talks very much.
Not even to you or your mother?
No, dear. We all have to be a little patient.
I'm patient, even though he doesn't ever talk to me. But I do him. I say goodnight to him on the evening star. You have to do it the very second you see it, too, or else it doesn't count. Good night, my Winthrop. Good night. Sleep tight.
There, darling, don't cry. You have lots of time. If not Winthrop, there'll be someone else.
Never! I'll end up an old maid like you! I'm sorry, Miss Marion. Can I play my crosshand piece?
May I play
my crosshand piece?
You may.
See, without a sweetheart, you have no one to say goodnight to on the evening star.
No, dear. For the time being, just say goodnight, my someone. You can put the name in when the right someone comes along.
All right, it's better than nothing.
Yes, it is. Now you can play your crosshand piece.
Now I may play my crosshand.
grateful to my wife, Eulalie McKechnie Shin, for her leading in the singing. And to J.C. Squires for his fine stereopticon slide. And to Ethel Toffelmeyer, our fine piano player. As mayor of River City, I would like to welcome you River Citizens to our 4th of July exercises, set up here in the Madison Gymnasium indoors on account of the weather. Fourscore. Fourscore and seven. The members of the school board will now present a patriotic tableau. Oh no. The members of the school board will not present a patriotic tableau. Some disagreement on costuming, I suppose. Instead, the Wonton Yee girls of the local wigwam of Hiawatha will present a spectacle. My wife. In which my wife will play a leading part.
I wouldn't leave if I was you. Come on.
Mrs. Shin will recover. No thanks to a certain young ruffian who is a disgrace to our city. Fourscore and seven. The Payne's fireworks spectacle, the last days of Pompeii, will take place, provided that the rain stops by 9:30. They will be in Madison Picnic Park in the Far Meadows, across the creek from the pest house.
How can it be raining? Did the Gazette create fair?
Sure did, That's why we all prepared for a storm.
Oh, the Gazette's not going to post the time. You know it, JC.
Yeah, you wouldn't last very long in the banking business being accurate most.
Well, I'm showing you all the banking.
I make her early. She's late, all right.
She's right on time. It's about your watch.
Will you members of the school board quit bickering in
Oh, I'm trying to say.
Never mind. Fourscore.
Weird, there's a pool table in town.
Yeah, that's what I heard.
Now, just a minute.
Is there a pool table or isn't there?
Will you please allow me to get on with the exercises?
No, we don't want any more exercises till we get this pool table matter settled.
Let's protect our children. Resist sin and corruption. Smite that devil and keep our young boys pure. May I have your attention, please? Attention, please. I can deal with this trouble, friends, with a wave of my hand, this very hand. Please observe me if you will. I'm Professor Harold Hill, and I'm here to organize the River City Boys Band. Oh, think, my friends, how could any pool table ever hope to compete with a gold trombone? Ra 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 da 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 ra ra. Remember, my friends, what a handful of trumpet players did to the famous fabled walls of Jericho. Oh, billiard parlor walls come a tumbling down. Well, a band will do it, my friends. Oh, yes, I said a boys' band. Do you hear me? Said River City's gotta have a boys' band, and I mean she needs it today. Well, Professor Harold Hill's on hand, and River City's gonna have her boys' band. As sure as the Lord made little green apples, and that band's gonna be in uniform. Johnny, Willie, Teddy, Fred. And you'll see the glitter of clashing cymbals. You'll hear the thunder of rolling drums, the shimmer of trumpets, ton-ta-da. And you'll feel something akin to the electric thrill I once enjoyed. When Gilmore, Liberati, Pat Conway, the great Creator, W.C. Handy, and John Philip Sousa all came to town on the very same historic day. 76 trombones led the big parade, with 110 cornets close at hand. They were followed by rows and rows of the finest virtuosos, the cream of every famous band. 76 trombones caught the morning sun, with 110 cornets right behind. There were more than 1,000 reeds springing up like weeds. There were horns of every shape and kind. There were copper-bottomed timpani and horse platoons, thundering, thundering all along the way. With double-bell euphonium and big bassoons, each bassoon having its big bass say. There were 50 mounted cannon in the battery, thundering, thundering louder than before. Clarinets of every size and trumpeters who improvise a full octave higher than the score.
Men, this calls for emergency action. That man is a spellbinder. Why, I haven't seen IO people get this excited since Frank Gotch and Strangler Lewis lay out on a mat for 3.5 hours without moving a muscle. Anyways, I want that man's credentials.
Hey, Tommy, you made it!
Grab that hoodlum! He almost blew up Missy's shin!
Oh, thank you, Professor. Thank you. Gotta make an example of him. Ringo, you know, when he does the gang touch.
Gee, Clyde, let me go.
You wild kid, ya! Hanging around my oldest girl. His father's one of them day laborers south of town. You wild kid, ya! Tagging down Main Street after my oldest girl last Sunday.
I wasn't either, tagging.
Don't you contradict me!
We is just walking together, Jilly Clyde.
You watch your phraseology. I know what you's doing. My little Gracie's seen ya. And if I ever catch you with my oldest girl again, you'll hear from me till who laid the rails? Now, Hill, I'll talk to you about this band thing Monday morning over at the City Hall. 10 o'clock sharp. Men, I want that spellbinder's credentials.
Constable, I'll be responsible for the boy.
Oh, you don't know this kid. He's tough. He's got his gang waiting outside.
Oh, I'll be careful. Tommy, I'd like to talk to you about the band.
Aw, gee, Professor. That's for the little kids.
Oh, I don't mean you being in the band. You're mechanically minded, aren't you? Ever do anything with perpetual motion?
Nearly had it a couple of times.
You did? Well, you're my man. Do you realize that nobody has ever invented a music holder for a marching piccolo player? Why, there's no place to hang the music.
Gee, Clyde. Wonder where I could get some wire from.
Check your cellar. That's where people keep wire. Oh, Tommy.
Yes, sir?
Now, Constable, I'll show you how to break up a gang. Young lady, what's your name?
Senita, I didn't have any idea you specking into me, God.
Do you know Tommy Gillis?
Well,
Tommy, this is Anita. Escort the young lady home.
Only excepting I'm not going home. I have to go to the library, ye gods.
Then escort the young lady home by way of the library. By way of the candy kitchen.
Yes, sir. Do I have to?
You have to.
Yes, sir.
Ye gods.
Professor, you seem like a pretty smart young fella. You made a couple mistakes, though.
Oh?
Well, for one thing, the mayor owns that billiard parlor and that new pool table.
Oh. Well, what was my other mistake?
That was Anita. She's the mayor's oldest girl.
We'd like to have your credentials. We're the school board.
What he means is your academic credentials.
Nothing of the kind. We need letters and paper. Hey, you grandma, on!
Gentlemen, wait, what am I hearing? You, sir. Say ice cream.
Ice cream, but I don't sing, young man, if that's what you're...
Talk then. Down here. Ice cream. Talk slow. Ice cream. See? Singing is just sustained talking. Now you, sir.
Ice cream.
Now you, sir.
Ice cream.
Now you, sir. Ladies, now, from now on, you'll never see one of these men without the other three.
Oh, Professor, you're wrong. Why, they've hated each other for 15 years.
Ice cream. Ice cream. Ice
How can there be
There is a good in good
I don't suppose you live alone or anything?
No!
Well, I've got some wonderful caramels over my hotel room.
Mr. Hill.
Professor Hill?
Professor of what? At what college do they give a degree for annoying women on the street like a Saturday night rowdy at a public dance hall?
Well, I wouldn't know anything about that. See, I'm a conservatory man myself. Gary, Indiana, gold medal class of '05.
Even should that happen to be true, does that give you the right to follow me around wherever I go?
Well, actually...
And another thing, Mr. Hill, I'm not as easily mesmerized or hoodwinked as some people in this town.
Okay, but if
And I think it only fair to warn you that I have a shelf full of reference books in there that may very well give me some interesting information about you.
Hey, Greg.
Oh, hey, Mars. And don't call me Greg.
How'd you make out with the music teacher?
Scrumptious. 8 out of my hand the minute I tip my hat.
She did? Oh, boy, did you cut a swab tonight, though. You had even me thinking you knew something about leading a band. Oh, just like how you used to imitate that band concert fella back in Joplin.
Oh, that's kid stuff. I'm in rare form these days, son. You just keep your eyes on me for the next 4 weeks.
4 weeks? It only used to take 10 days for the instruments to arrive.
It still does, but it takes 4 weeks for the uniforms.
Uniforms? You haven't added uniforms, have you?
Uniforms and instruction books.
Instruction books? But you can't pass yourself off as a music professor. I mean, not for any 4 weeks.
Hey, but you know me.
You don't know one note from another.
I have a revolutionary new method called the think system, where you don't bother with notes.
But in 4 weeks, the people are gonna want to hear music, and you're gonna have to lead a band.
But when the uniforms arrive, they forget everything else, at least long enough for me to collect and lead. Oh, this is a refined operation, son, and I've got it timed right down to the last wave of the brakeman's hand on the last train out of town. And now, if you'll excuse me...
Gonna line yourself up a little canoodling, huh?
Well...
Say, I could set you up with Ethel's sister. Lovely girl, teaches Sunday school.
No wide-eyed, eager, wholesome, innocent Sunday school teacher for me. That kind of gal spins webs no spider ever... Now listen, son. A gal who trades in all that purity merely wants to trade my independence for security. The only affirmative she will file refers to marching down the aisle. No golden, glorious, gleaming, pristine goddess. No, sir, for no Diana do I play fawn. I can tell you that right now. I snarl, I hiss. How can ignorance be compared to bliss? I spark and I fizz for the lady who knows what time it is. I cheer and I rave for the virtue I'm too late to save. The sadder but wiser girl for me. Bright-eyed, blushing, breathless, baby doll baby. No, sir, that kind of child ties knots no sailor ever knew. See, I prefer to take a chance on a more adult romance. No dewy young miss who keeps resisting. All the time she keeps insisting. No wide-eyed, wholesome, innocent female. No, sir, why she's the fisherman, I'm the fish, you see. I flinch, I shy. When the lass with the delicate air goes by, I smile and I grin. When the gal with the touch of sin walks in, I hope and I pray for Hester to win just one more A. The sadder but wiser girl's the girl for me. The sadder but wiser girl for me.
We're all agog, simply agog.
On the K-Beam.
We're so excited about the band.
Hi, Ethel Toppelmeyer, the pianola girl.
And this is Mrs. Squires, and Mrs. Hicks, and of course you know Eulalie McKechnie-Shins, our mayor's wife. Isn't it exciting, Eulalie?
I couldn't say, I could not say. Oh, no, I could not say at this time. My husband will wish to investigate, I'm sure. And naturally, I'm reticent. Oh, yes, I'm reticent.
Of course, Mrs. Shin. Of course, and I understand. But you see, my music plans include a committee on the dance, and well... Oh, wait, Mrs. Shin. Do that again, Mrs. Shin. With your foot, the way you raised it just now.
Oh, well, I have a bunion there that bothers me.
What grace! What natural flow of rhythm! What expression of line and movement!
Mr. Hill!
You must accept the chairmanship of the Ladies' Auxiliary for the classic dance, mustn't she, ladies?
Yes.
Every move you make, Mrs. Shin, bespeaks des sommes. Will you say yes, Mrs. Shin?
You lady mechanician. Oh, well, that is dancing well.
Then you accept?
Yes, and I would like
Thank you. And now, the young lady who plays piano, Marion Prue, I believe? Well, after all, she is the librarian.
Pick a little, talk a little, pick a little, talk a little, cheep, 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 talk a lot, pick a little more. Pick a little, talk a little, pick a little, talk a little, cheep, 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 talk a lot, pick a little more. Pick a little, talk a little, pick a little, talk a little, cheep, 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 talk a lot, pick a little more. Pick a little, talk a little, pick a little, talk a little, cheep, 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 cheep.
Professor, her kind of woman doesn't belong on any committee. Of course, I should tell you this, but she advocates for dirty books.
Dirty books?
Pick a little more.
Chaucer.
Pick a little, talk a little, cheep, 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 pick a little more.
All that.
Cheep, 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 cheep.
The worst thing, of course I should tell you this. I'll tell.
The man lived on my street, let me tell.
Stop! I'll tell. She made brazen overtures to a man who never had a friend in this town till she came here. Old miser Madison.
Madison? Madison Gymnasium, Madison Hospital, Madison Picnic Park, that miser Madison?
Exactly. Who would he think he was anyways?
Well, I should say, show off. Gave the town the library too, didn't he?
That's just it. When he died, he left the library building to the city.
But he left all the books to her.
She was seen coming and going from his place.
Oh yes, that woman made brazen overtures with a gilt-edged guarantee. She had a golden glint in her eye and a silver voice with a counterfeit ring. Just melt her down and you'll reveal a lump of lead as cold as steel here, where a woman's heart should be.
That's River City, the library building, but he left all the books to her.
Chaucer!
Railway!
All that.
Well, yes, of course you do. I have just what you need over at my hotel room. Please come with me. One moment, though. Good night, ladies. It's all right. I know everything and it doesn't make any difference.
What are you talking about?
We're probably very young. Anyone can make a mistake.
What?
No apologies, no explanations, please. I'll only be in town a short while and, well, the sadder but wiser girl for me.
Will you please make your selection and leave?
I have.
Well, what would you like to take out?
The librarian.
Quiet, please.
The librarian. You're not listening, Marion. Marion. Look. Marbles. 6 Steelies, 8 Aggies, a dozen Pewees, and 1 big glassy with an American flag in the middle. I think I'll drop it.
No!
Madam Librarian. What can I do, my dear, to catch your ear? I love you madly, madly, Madam Librarian. Marian, heaven help us,
if the library caught on fire and the volunteer hose brigademen had to whisper the news to Marion. Madam Librarian. But what can I say in here to make it clear? I need you badly, badly, Madam Librarian. Marion, if I stumbled and I busted my whatchamacallit, I could lie on your floor unnoticed till my body had turned to carrion. Madam Librarian. Well, now in the moonlight, a man could sing it in the moonlight. And a fellow wouldn't know that his darling had heard every word of his song with the moonlight helping along. But when I try in here to tell you, dear, I need you badly, badly, Madam Librarian. Marion, it's a long-lost cause I can never win, for the civilized world accepts as unforgivable sin any talking out loud with any librarian, such as Marion. Madam Librarian. I love you madly, madly, Madam Librarian. Marian, it's a long lost cause I can never win. For the civilized world accepts as unforgivable sin any talking out loud with any librarian, such as Marian. Madam Librarian. The Ladies' Dance Committee meets Tuesday nights. Marshmallow? Well, Tommy, we've had a pretty good morning so far. 11 sales out of 12 tries. Tell you what, it's almost noon. Go and get yourself some dinner. I'll try a couple by myself.
Goodbye, Professor.
Thanks, Tommy.
Just a minute here. Are you soliciting? You haven't got the license.
Why no, Meredith. I collect doorknobs. You see, this particular specimen has an unusual tone quality.
Flattery will not avail you. Soliciting is statutory in this county. Malfeasance without a permit. And why haven't you been down to City Hall with your references?
Why, Mayor Shin, I just missed you and Mr. Shin, your hand. Oh no.
What?
That spread of the little finger. It's hereditary.
What does that mean?
It means that your son's little finger is perfectly situated to operate the spit valve on a B-flat flugel horn.
Is that good?
Good? It means that America has finally produced an artist who can flugel the minute waltz in 50 seconds.
Where can I get one of these horns?
Sign here, Mr. Mayor. That'll be $17 import fee.
Just to think I could have missed this whole... I haven't got any son! You unscrupulous flew-by-night! You unflightulous you! You be down City Hall with your bygone papers at 3 o'clock!
You mean this afternoon?
I couldn't make myself any plainer if I was a Quaker on his day off.
Oh, Mrs. Peru, do you realize you have the facial characteristics of a cornet virtuoso?
I don't know if I understand you entirely, Professor.
Well, if your boy has that same firm chin and those splendid cheek muscles, by George. Well, not that he could ever really be great, you know.
Oh, is that so? And in the name of St. Bridget, why not?
Well, you see, all the really great cornet players were Irish. O. Clark, O. Mendez, O. Klein.
Oh, Professor! We are Irish!
No, really. Well, that clinches it. Sign here, madam. Your boy was born to play the cornet. Fine, and that'll be $7 earnest money. Nothing more due until the first installment payable at the opening of band practice. Thank you. And, of course, I'll need the boy's measurements for his band uniform.
His uniform?
Well, hello, son. Why, certainly, his uniform. And there won't be a penny due until delivery, which gives him 4 weeks to enjoy, to anticipate, to imagine at no cost whatsoever. Never allow the demands of tomorrow to interfere with the pleasures and excitements of today.
Would it have
a stripe? Why, certainly, my boy. A big red stripe down each side. Now, what do you think of that?
You'll have to excuse Winthrop, Professor. We can't get him to say 3 words a day, even to us. And if you get him to play in the band, you'll have St. Michael's own way with you. But if anybody can do it, I'll bet you can. Out of a crowd, I'd pick you up for a hod-carrying, clay-pipe-smoking, shamrock-wearing, harp-playing, maronine-pinching, terrace-hole, minstrel-singing, Irishman be golden be jabbers. Where are you from, my boy?
Gary, Indiana.
I knew it, Where did you say?
Gary, Indiana. In fact, Gary Conservatory was my alma mater.
Was she now?
Indeed. Well, how to do, Miss Peru?
How do you do, Mr. Hill?
Peru, I thought the name sounded familiar. Oh, I've been by to see you since the other night.
He wants to put Winthrop in the band.
We're not interested, Mama.
But Marion, the boy might have his father's musical gift. He does have my jaw, you know.
Your husband musical? Well, I'd like to have a talk with him. I'm sure we could
Do you burst in on everyone's home like this? prying into personal affairs. We're not interested.
Marion!
Well, that's 1 for and 1 against. Now, why not let the boy's father decide?
The boy's father is dead. Anything else?
Well, I'm sorry, but that's all the more reason why he should have something
My
like...
brother is a 10-year-old problem child who can't understand why his father was taken away. Would you care to explain it to him? He's been brooding over it for 2 years. As to your musical tricks, why don't you go into business with some nice carnival man selling gold-painted watches and glass diamond rings?
Musical tricks. Now, Miss Marion, I hardly think that's something to say to someone who's trying to get... I think she likes the idea. Oh, a little cautious perhaps, but I admire that in a woman. Just keep me alive and I'll be back later in the week.
Oh, 1 moment, Professor. About the boy's measurements. I make all of his clothes. Sleeve 21, waist 18, crotch 14.
Fine, that's all I need. Now I must get back to my hotel.
Professor, I do hope you'll excuse Marion. She's not really...
Don't worry about it. I'm sure that at heart she's as lovely as yourself. Good day to you at a brew.
Has he gone?
He has, and I hope not forever. Darling, don't you ever think of your future? Gary, Indiana, conservation class of Art 5 now, darling!
Now, Mama! Surely a girl's future doesn't depend on encouraging every fast-talking, self-centered, woman-chasing traveling man who comes to town. And the fact that he claims his commodity is music does not, in this particular case, impress me.
All right, darling, all right. Only it's a well-known principle that if you keep the flint in one drawer and the steel in another, you'll never strike much of a fire!
Mama! Winthrop! Winthrop, I know you're there. Please go to the library and ask Mrs. Grubb for the book I set aside. It's the Indiana State Educational Journal, 1890 to 1910. It's a large brown volume with black corners. Do I have to? You won't have to talk to anyone. I've written it all down. Thank you, dear.
Now what are you up to? Why do you need books at this hour of the night?
I have a feeling the Indiana State Journal may help me poke some rather large holes in the professor's claims.
Well, I give up. At your age, if you don't mind my asking, what kind of white knight do you expect to come riding along?
Well, I'm not waiting for Luther Griner, who backs me into the ancient history shelf every time he comes into the library.
He does?
Or Ed Gamage with that buggy of his with the removable back seat. But I'm not waiting for a man in shining white armor either. My white knight, not a Lancelot, nor an angel with wings, just someone to love me, who is not ashamed of a few nice things. My white knight, what my heart would say if it only knew how. Please, dear Venus, show me now. All I want is a plain man. All I want is a modest man, a quiet man, a gentleman, a straightforward and honest man to sit with me in a cottage somewhere in the state of Iowa, and I would like him to be more interested in me than he is in himself, and more interested in us than in me. And if occasionally he'd ponder what makes Shakespeare and Beethoven great, him I could love till I die. Him I could love till I die. My
supper?
Oh, I can't. It's Epworth League night. No, I'll meet you where?
The footbridge.
You see? Isn't that just what I said? Last time the lumberyard, and now the footbridge. And where will you meet me after that, huh? In the black hole of Calcutta? Yeet God!
I only want to show you my invention.
What invention?
My music holder for a marching piccolo player. It still has a couple of minor flaws, though. See? When you keep it tight enough to hold the music steady, you cut off your circulation. And you can't wiggle your fingers. And meanwhile, you could go blind.
Oh, Tommy, it's Papa.
Is that the first thing I said or not? Yes, George. The first thing I said, or I'll eat hay with the horse. Get that spellbinder's credentials, I said, morning of July 4th, 1912. And now look, my wife is off dancing at any and all hours of the day instead of tending to the home.
But George!
The members of the school board are singing up street and down alley instead of tending to city matters. My oldest girl's off boodling with some wild kid, and my business has fallen off so far, I can't even find the balance sheet.
Mayorson, I found some very interesting information about Professor Hill's alma mater.
His who?
His university.
Oh, yes, I know all about that. In fact, that's the only thing I can ever get out of him. Gary Conservatory, class of '05.
Yes, but if you'll just take some time to read a little about the conservatory, I don't think you'll have to look further. It's on page...
Papa! The Wells Fargo wagon's coming up with the depot!
The Wells Fargo wagon? A likely story at this hour of the day? Nonsense. The Wells Fargo wagon? The band instruments? Oh, the Wells Fargo wagon is coming down the street. Oh, please let it be for me. Oh, the Wells Fargo wagon is coming down the street. I wish I knew what it could be.
I got a box of maple sugar on my birthday.
And once I got some grapefruit from Tampa.
Montgomery Wood sent me a bathtub and a cross-cut sock.
Oh, the Wells Fargo wagon is coming down the street. A big red prize of COD. Yes, it could be. Yes, you're right. It surely could be. Something very, very special now. Oh, the Wells Fargo wagon is coming down the street. Oh, don't let it pass my door. Oh, the Wells Fargo wagon is coming down the street. I wish I knew what he was coming for. I got some salmon from Seattle last September.
And I picked a new rocking chair.
I hope I get my raisins from Fresno.
Oh, the Wells Fargo wagon is coming now. I don't know how I could ever wait to see. It could be something for someone who is no reason, but it could be something special just for me. Oh, the Wells Fargo wagon, keep it coming. Oh, the Wells Fargo wagon, keep it coming. Oh, the Wells Fargo wagon, don't you dare to make a song until you song for It's the band instrument.
Here you are, Winthrop.
My cornet. Gee, thanks, Professor.
Men, you will each receive individual instruction in due time. In the meantime, stay off the streets. Get acquainted with your instruments, and think about the minuet in G. La-di-da-di-da-di-da-di-da. La-di-da, la-di-da.
Sister, isn't this the most all-gold thing you ever saw? I never thought I'd see anything so scrumptious than this scrumptious all-gold thing. Oh, sister!
Round one for you, Mr. Hill. But I better hear some bygone tootin' out of them horns, or I'll have you over a grand jury up at county seat. Now, Miss Marion, about that book?
Come, George, Tempus fugit.
You watch your phraseology. You get along if you want to. I've got to get something from the librarian. Now, about that book?
The ladies' dance committee meets Tuesday nights at the high school.
Lovely, ladies, lovely. Now turn. Take the body with you. Lovely. Now let's have a go at our Grecian urn. 1 Grecian urn. 2 Grecian urns. And a fountain. Trickle, 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 trickle. Splendid. I predict that our Delsart display will be the highlight of the ice cream sociable. Now, gentlemen, if you're ready, and ladies, remember, don't make me tell you again, always keep your face to the audience. All right, Mr. Dunlop. entitled to 5 more minutes.
If you think you can hold these kids back, you go right ahead.
Start her up, Mr. Washburn. Wait till you see the new steps Professor Hill taught us.
All right, what will it be?
The Shapoopy!
Okay, the Shapoopy. Now, a woman who kissed on the very first date is usually a hussy, and the woman who kissed on the second time out is anything but fussy. But the woman who waits till the third time around and the ground feet on the ground, she's the girl he drags down. She's a Shapoopy, 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 Shapoopy. Get with her yet. Once or once, it's raised, put in one kind of sight. You make a section, one more. Now, but that's too late, it's sore. You beg your pardon. Squeeze her one for jizz. Look at him, you squeeze that's fancy. One more for a time, perhaps you'll make it sore. No way to slip her.
behind your back.
Why you?
Well, we'd rather be doing it in front of your back.
Doing what? Never mind.
Zenith is scared of you, but I'm not. Sheely Clyde, should think you'd hate to have your own daughter scared of you.
Now, I'm gonna warn you once more. If I ever catch you touching my daughter again, I'll bind on horsewhip you till hell won't have it again.
Now, George!
Not another poop out of you, madam.
I think he means peep.
Yes, never mind. Now get out of this public building!
I got as much right in the public building as anybody.
Right? How do you getting right around here, aiding and abetting the swindling activities of a spellbinding symbol salesman? You know what I see written all over you? Reform school. Now get out! Get out, you wild kid!
No! Papa, please! It's capitalists like you make blood in the marketplace! Ye gods!
You watch your phraseology, young woman. Go home. Eulalie?
Yes, George,
You tend to your dance.
My darn.
I'll handle Anita, taken up with kids from the wrong side of town.
Mr. Mayor, if I could just make you understand.
Well, you can't. And by the way, thanks for nothing. I read that entire book cover to cover for an entire week now and couldn't find a thing.
Mr. Meredith, please.
I'll settle your hash as soon as I get these premises off my daughter. Yes?
Well, in the meantime, I want you to know that I'm vouching for Tommy Gillis. That boy's got the confidence of every kid in town, and you'll be waiting in line to shake his hand by the time our band plays its first concert.
By the time your band plays its first concert, the individual members will have to foregather in wheelchairs on account of the broken legs they'll get from tripping over their beards. Now let me tell you something else, my fine young feathered young... Never mind. Oliver, JC, you and Olin. I want that man's credentials and I want him tonight. Don't let him out of your sight. He's slippier than a Mississippi sturgeon.
You mean you want us to get his credentials?
Get his papers or get him in jail. I couldn't make myself any clearer if I was a button hook in the well water.
Professor Hill, I think Mayor Shin has behaved abominably, and I think it was wonderful of you coming to Tommy's defense.
Oh, that was nothing.
Yes, it was.
No, a man can't dodge the issue. A little time, personal risk is involved. Well, what does the poet say? A coward dies 1,000 deaths, and the brave man only 500. Well, unfortunately, the mayor was already pretty mad on account of his billiard parlors, so I guess a recommendation from a musical authority such as yourself would help.
Why, Professor Hill.
You would?
I'd be glad to. I just wish I were a little more informed. I've been wanting to talk to you about Winthrop's cornet.
Oh, his cornet? Mother of pearl keys.
I'm sure it's fine, but you see, he never touches it. Oh, the first week or so, he made a few, experimental blacks, I guess you'd say?
Yes, blacks, yes.
And he sings the minuet in G to Daft almost constantly, but he never touches the cornet.
Well, actually...
He says you told him it wasn't necessary.
Well...
He tells me about some think system. If he thinks the minuet in G, he won't have to bother with notes.
Miss Marion, the think system is a revolutionary method, I'll admit. So was Galileo's conception of the heavens, Columbus's conception of the egg, globe, and Bach's conception of the well-tempered clavichord. Now, I can't discuss these things in public, but if you'll allow me to call... When may I call?
Why, any night this week.
Your floor. You had a golden shimmer in your hair and silver shoes for all to see. We hope that you will soon unfold a forgiving heart of purest gold here, where woman's heart should be. Fairy princess, moonbeam floor, golden shimmer, silver shoes. Now unfold, heart of gold, here, where woman's heart should be. The professor told us to read those books, and he simply adored them all. Chaucer, Rabelais,
Excuse me. Do you need something?
Sorry, Professor, but we've got our orders.
We've all been death chat.
Oh, congratulations. You see, all week I've tried to give you my references and credentials, but you keep getting off the subject somehow. Now I have just what you need over in my hotel room. Take me just a second.
Sorry, afraid I'll have to go along.
Okay, well, let's see if I have my key, huh? Oh, well, what's this? Ah, a testimonial from Madame Reaney, the only female bassoon player to ever walk the Red Path Circuit. Her stage name, of course. Actually, she was from Moley. Lida Rose Quackenbush.
Let's see that for a minute.
Oh, you'll never forget the name. Lida Rose, same as the old song. Lida Rose, I'm home again, Rose.
Look at the sun back in the sky.
Mama. Now nothing. If he ever comes to call again, you see him alone. And if you haven't the gumption to tell him how you feel...
Tell him?
Well, there's nothing wrong with a ladylike hint.
Mama.
Winthrop, where have you been?
Fishing.
Fishing?
With Harold. You mean Professor Hill? Mm-hmm, and I still have some work left. Did you have a good time? Scrumptious. He taught me all of it about his hometown, Gary, Indiana. And he said he'd take me there someday. He even taught me a song that hardly had any S's in it. Gary, Indiana, Gary, Indiana, Gary, Indiana, let me say it once again. Gary, Indiana, Gary, Indiana, Gary, Indiana, that's the town that knew me when. If you'd like to have a logical explanation, how I happened on the Silgan Dinko Basin, I will say without a moment of hesitation, there's just one place that can light my face. Gary, Indiana, Gary, Indiana, not Louisiana, Paris, France, New York, or Rome. But Gary, Indiana, Gary, Indiana, Gary, Indiana, my home sweet home. If you'd like to have a logical explanation, how I happened on the Belgian Dinko Basin, I will say without a moment of hesitation, there's just one place that can light my face.
Gary, Indiana.
Gary, Indiana. Not Louisiana, Paris, France, New York, or Rome. But
Gary, Indiana.
Gary, Indiana. Gary, Indiana. My home sweet home. I'll be back in a minute. I need to sew Amaryllis, my live frog. La-di-da-di-da-di-da-di-da, la-di-da, la-di-da, la-di-da-di-da-di-da-di-da, la-di-da, la-di-da.
Leave the dishes. I'll do them, Mama.
Don't you have to change for the sociable?
There's time later.
Shin's live around here somewhere.
The Shin home is on East Elm. This is West Elm.
Ah, criminy. I see the piano teacher in town. You must know about this fella Hill forming a boys band.
Yes.
Well, don't let it worry you no more. I've got the goods on him in spades. That swindling two-bit thimble rigger. That's why I gotta see Shin. Number 8 only makes a 15-minute water stop. Sure wish you were 20. Let's concentrate 5 minutes on you, girly girl.
Who are you?
The name's Charlie Cowell. I'm an anvil salesman. But just now, I'm out to protect the good name of this traveling fraternity from that swindler.
Mr. Cowell, you're making a big mistake.
Mistake my old lady's corset cover. That fella's been the raspberry seed in my wisdom tooth long enough. Spoiled Illinois for me, and I'm not gonna let him spoil Iowa.
If you'll just listen to me for a minute.
I'd like to. I'd like to do more than that, if I had the time. I sure do have the inclination. But just now I've got to get to the train station. And I got to leave this dynamite with somebody at the depot. See you next time through, girly girl.
You'll never catch that train at the depot. You'll have to catch it at the crossing.
No, sir. I've got to leave word about Hill, and I can see that you're not the one to leave it with.
Just a minute, Mr. Cowell. You don't know me yet?
Is that an invitation?
No. I mean...
Yes, I need more time anyway.
I mean, as well as I'd like to.
No trouble there, girly girl.
I've never met a man who sells anvils before. That's something, well, quite different.
Takes a real salesman. Anvils have a limited appeal, I can tell you that. What am I doing? I'll miss my train and I'll get fired. And I gotta leave word about Hill.
Leave word with me.
Not in your tin type. How do I know you deliver these letters?
Try me. There's your train, now run for it!
Why, you double-dealing little... Who do you think you're protecting anyway? That guy's got a girl in every county in Illinois, and that's 102 counties. Not counting the piano teachers he cozies up with to keep their mouths shut. Neither one of you's heard the last of me, girly girl.
I'll pop the question. Rider rolls, I know again rolls, without a sweetheart to my aid.
I've just got some jelly on the stove.
There's no jelly on the stove, Mama.
Well, I'll put some on.
Well, shall we set as your mother said?
Well,
You did ask me to call.
Did I? I didn't mean anything.
Now, Miss Marion, I wasn't meaning that your invitation inferred anything but academic enlightenment. The think system? I've been by to talk to you about it the past couple of days, but there always seem to be people around. Mostly ladies, I thought.
Yes, Mrs. Squires and several of the ladies.
Good. Wouldn't want anybody beating my time. You wouldn't? No, ma'am. Well, it's evidently not the convenient night. See you at the sociable later.
Professor Hill, is it true that you've had 100? I'm trying to say is
Yes?
it really true that you've developed a think system?
Oh, what? Oh, think system. Yes. It's really quite simple. As simple as whistling. Nobody has to tell you how to use your lips in whistling. You merely have to think a tune to have it come out here. Now just try this yourself before you ask any questions.
I take your word.
Could we sit down?
Are all music teachers as dense as I am?
All music teachers?
I dare say you've met dozens, maybe even 100.
Well...
Have they all been as fascinated as I have with the think system?
Some more, some less. One young lady even thought up the same system before I got to her town. She showed me a few refinements.
I see.
Have I said something wrong?
Please don't let me keep you, Professor Hill. You must have much more important things to do than to explain the think system to me.
Can't think of one.
And I must be very dull company for a man of your experience.
Now say, where'd you get an idea like that?
One hears rumors of traveling salesmen.
Now, Miss Marion, you mustn't believe everything you hear. After all, one even hears rumors about librarians.
I suppose you're referring to Uncle Matty.
Uncle Matty?
Mr. Madison, my father's best friend. No matter what they tell you, he left me an assured job, so Mother and Winthrop and I would have some security. Surely you don't believe.
Of course I don't. That's exactly what I'm saying, but why do you think people start those rumors?
Narrow-mindedness, jealousy. Jealousy mostly, I guess.
Exactly. And jealousy mostly starts rumors about traveling salesmen. What have you heard?
Oh, nothing about you personally. Just generally.
And what have you heard generally?
But of course it stands to reason that if disappointment and jealousy can lead to, take you for instance, your attentions to customers and, well, teachers might easily be misinterpreted. Now honestly, mightn't they? And so, if another salesman or somebody were jealous, well, they could be downright lies, couldn't they?
What could?
Rumors and things.
Why, of course.
It just goes to show you should never believe everything you hear. If you just discuss
Miss
things...
Marion, I would love to discuss anything in the world with you, but couldn't we do it sitting down? You do sit. Your legs bend and all.
We could sit on the porch steps.
Or we could sit on a large hollow log over the footbridge.
I couldn't think of it. I've never been to the footbridge with a man in my life.
Just to talk.
I have to dress for the sociable.
Then meet me there in 15 minutes.
I just can't. Please. Maybe some other time. Maybe tomorrow.
My dear little librarian, pile up enough tomorrows and you found that you collected a lot of empty yesterdays. Now, I don't know about you, but I'd like to make today worth remembering.
Oh, so would I.
The footbridge, 15 minutes.
15 minutes. Mama! What? I just told Professor Hill I'd meet him at the footbridge in 15 minutes.
Well, glory be and saints be praised and
What does?
I've been using the think system on you from the parlor.
The uniforms have arrived. The kids are in them already. Those people are going to be screaming for music if those kids show up at the sociable.
All right, Marsh, get the rig.
I got it.
Well, what time's the freight go?
9:40 from the junction.
Well, it's not even 8:30 yet.
Now listen, you want to turtle-wordle around here and get yourself all caught up in a bunny trap, you go right ahead.
Don't worry, Marsh. I'll get to the hotel in plenty of time.
Okay.
Miss Marion, you're late.
You said 15 minutes.
Well, I meant about 26 years late. Took you long enough to get to the footbridge with a fella.
If you want to know the truth, it was almost longer. Halfway here, I nearly turned back. I suppose I'm not the first to find it easier to think clearly when not under the spell of your salesmanship.
Surely you haven't thought that I've been selling you anything?
No, you've given me something. That's why I decided to come.
But I don't recall giving you...
Oh, yes, you have. Something beautiful. That's why I came, and I'm glad. Oh, please don't be afraid I expect too much more. One can't expect a traveling salesman to stay put. But that's no reason for me not to be grateful for what you've left behind. For me.
Left behind? But, Marion...
There were bells on the hill, but I never heard them ringing. No, I never heard them at all, till there was you. There were birds in the sky, but I never saw them winging. No, I never saw it at all, till there was you. And there was music, and there were wonderful roses. They tell me in sweet, fragrant meadows of dawn and dew. There was love all around, but I never heard it singing. No, I never heard it at all, till there was you. There was love all around, but I never heard it sing. No, I never heard it at all, till there was you.
Marion, there's a lot of things you don't know about me. I'm expecting a cable from Hector Berlioz. This could be it. What now?
Who's the salesman here? Looks like she's selling and you're buying.
You nuts? I didn't know I was going to be able to leave tonight. I had to keep her off balance, didn't I? And I told you.
Uh-huh. And she's so far off balance, you can't tell her from a catboat in a hurricane.
Listen, Buster Brown, I've come up in the ranks in this. I'm not resigning without my commission.
But you can't get anywhere out here on this footbridge.
There's a place near the sociable makes this footbridge look like the old ladies' home. Now beat it. Get the rig. Never a peaceful moment in the music business. Now where were we?
You were just about to tell me what I don't know about you.
Well, we don't really need to go into that right now, do we?
No, or ever for that matter. The librarian hasn't felt much like doing research lately, but she did plenty when you first came here.
Oh? About what?
About Professor Harold Hill, Gary Conservatory of Music, Gold Medal Class of '05. Harold, there was no Gary Conservatory in '05.
Why, there certainly was.
Because the town wasn't even built until '06. I'll see you at the sociable.
You knew the whole time?
Since July 7th, 3 days after you came. I tore this page out of the Indiana State Educational Journal. It was originally intended to use against you, but now I give it to you with all my heart.
Why, you... While 110 cornets played the air, then I modestly took my place as the one and only bass, and I oompahd up and down the square.
Good night, my someone, good night, my love.
With 110 cornets right behind.
Our star is shining, its brightest light.
There were horns of every shape and sweet dreams be yours, dear, if dreams there be.
Why the 110 cornets played the air.
I wish I may, and I wish I might. Now good night, my someone, good night.
I'll say I'm crazy. Missed my train, probably lost my job. But I got you now, Hill, and you'll pay. You'd be in the clique right now if it weren't for that piano teacher. I told her all about you. And what did she do? Lily gagged me around so I couldn't get the shin. Dried up man-hungry doxy, round heel fizgig. You get out of here, I'll kill you, you dirty mouth little. You bully, you big blow-off. I'll stay in this town till you get yours up, down, through, and sideways. Why? You never even knew the territory.
Greg! It's the rings of the alley. Come on, let's go!
Fine.
Grecian urns and a fountain. Trickle, 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 trickle.
Stop! Listen to this man!
You gullible green grass goats. Can't get it through your head that you're being swindled out of your eye teeth. Right now. This very minute. There's a burglar in the bedroom and you're fiddling in the parlor. I'm talking about Harold Hill. Road agent, highwayman, pickpocket.
Pickpocket?
The same. He's had his hand in your wallet, sir. And yours, madam. And yours, young lady, since the first moment he got into town. There's more documented evidence than you'd ever have time to read. There isn't a band. There never has been a band. And there never will be a band. And if you don't hunt him down right now like a mad dog, there won't be a Harold Hill either. He'll be on the first train out of town.
Now will you believe me?
Well, what are we waiting for?
I want my money back.
After him! And when you find him, bring him to the schoolhouse! After him!
I've been looking all over for you. Where have you been?
I've been looking for Winthrop. He's run away. Please go. Please, Harold. They're even talking about tar and feathers.
Well, I had to see you, Marion.
It's all right. Don't you know that? You don't owe me a word. Not a word. Now go, please.
He's nowhere around here, boys. Let's check down by the creek.
Winthrop!
Wait a minute, son.
I'm not your son. Leave me go.
Not till I talk to you for a minute.
I won't listen. You won't tell the truth anyway.
Would too.
Would not.
Would too. Tell you anything you want to know.
Can you lead a band?
No.
Are you a big liar?
Yes.
Are you a dirty, rotten crook?
Yes.
Leave me go, you big liar.
Now what's the matter? You wanted the truth, didn't you? Now I'm bigger than you and you're gonna stand here and take it all, so you might as well quit wiggling. Now there's two things you're entitled to know. One, you're a wonderful kid, and I thought so from the first. That's why I wanted you in the band, so you'd quit moping around feeling sorry for yourself.
What band?
Well, I always think there's a band, kid.
What's the other thing I'm entitled to know?
Well, now that I think of it, that's none of your business.
I wish you'd never come to River City.
No, you don't, Winthrop.
Sister, you believe him?
I believe everything he ever said.
But he promised us.
I know what he promised. It all happened, just like he said. The lights, and the flags, and the colors, and the symbols. Where was all that? And the way every kid in this town walked around here all summer, and looked and acted. Especially you. And the parents, too. Does Mama wish he'd never come to River City?
Well, no, don't you?
No, Winthrop. Now go, Harold.
Go on, Professor. Hurry up.
I can't go, Winthrop.
Why not?
Well, for the first time in my life, I got my foot caught in the door. There was love all around, but I never heard it singing. No, I never heard it at all, till there was you.
Which is why I interrupted the program at this point. Rest assured, that snake in our bosom would have been misapprehended at this point. Oh yes, and always remember, my fellow river citizens, I did everything in my power to prevent this dire happening from, happening. Fourscore-and-7...
Uniforms yet.
He's slippery, I told you.
I haven't seen any of those uniforms or my boy since after supper.
He's a kidnapper.
Never mind, never mind.
Fine situation we have here, Mayor.
77 years ago. Just a minute. Virtue has triumphed. The sword of retribution has cut down Professor Harold Hill. And if there are those of you, as I have heard, who are collecting tar and melting feathers, never mind, I will not say to them nay.
Well, I should think there ought to be some of you who could forget our everlasting Iowa stubborn chip on the shoulder arrogance long enough to remember River City before Harold Hill arrived. You remember? Well, do you? Surely some of you ought to be grateful to him for what he's brought to River City. And if so, I should think you'd want to admit it.
You're wasting a great deal of time here. If there is any person in this hall who does not think this man, Harold Hill, should be tarred and feathered, let him stand. Eulalie, sit down. And the rest of you, standing there like a coat of Shropshire sheep. Have you people forgotten that you bought expensive uniforms, technical instruction books, and high-priced band instruments? Have you forgotten the clear understanding and guarantee that your children will be taught to play in a band? Well, where is the band? Where is the band?
Think, men, think.